Resident Evil Revelations Raid Mode, commentary on Abyss Stage 19 Terragrigia, going for the Trinity bonus, which means killing all enemies, taking no damage and having a character level below the stage level. First, let's review the weapon setup. Each weapon has a bottomless pouch for grenade recovery. The rifle here is lightweight and we will use this to get around fast and escape many times. It also has ammo recovery, so we can be more aggressive with the rifle ammo. Next, the high roller machine gun has auto-load, so we don't ever hit the reload button. It is also boosted with piercing. Finally, we have the shotgun, and the most important thing here is the stopping power. We need hunters knocked back with this every time. Let's begin. Start by heading to the elevator.
Oh, I'm getting chills.
Take a moment to appreciate how the elevator has 63 buttons, but only about 14 floors indicated over the door. Now throw a grenade at the ooze guys and turn around to fight a hunter. Once he's down, take out the ooze guys however you want. A piercing weapon can damage multiple at a time. When you have a space one-on-one with the hunter, you can save a lot of ammo by cheesing them when they are in the air to put them in a daze for a kick. So you will see me do this a lot in this run. Even if the hunter is invisible, he will pause and crouch for a moment, and that is the tell that he is about to jump. So aim high and shoot when he is in the air. I find it helps to back up a step too. Next is an arm strangler waving like a game show contestant. Get close to kill him because a hunter will be right behind you. Turn to take him out cheese style if you can. Next, use a piercing weapon to take out 2 ooze guys and another game show arm strangler. Now go to the 4th floor to one of the more difficult rooms in what looks like the accounting department. Hit the medal on your way. Start by going to the end of the aisle to aggro the hunter for an airborne cheese. Now use piercing and grenades on the hunter and the 2 other guys. These guys went from disgruntled accountants to disgruntled ooze guys. You could do the airborne cheese on this hunter, but I decided not to wait since there was room and the rifle has ammo recovery. Now get a pulse grenade ready and your lightweight weapon. Go past that red first aid, turn and throw a pulse down the aisle and run immediately out the main door. This will de-aggro everyone when you come back in. So we can deal with them one at a time as much as possible until you hear the strangler horse sound, but we will get to that. Make sure to go out the door after every kill in this early part. There's ammo in the last locker on the right. I like to cheese the hunter next. It's too bad Jessica isn't taller. If you are a good shot, you can get these ooze guys with headshots. Otherwise, you can wait for them to stumble around the aisle toward you for a better angle. An invisible hunter will spawn near the end of the aisle. When you see the short guy in the distance, you can work your way around. Skip that tall guy in the back because he will line up for piercing shots once everything goes crazy here in a bit. Try to aggro only one of the short ooze or hunter. Don't let these fast guys lunge you, so keep a distance. There's another invisible hunter that spawns. And there is the horse sound, which is a signal. We do not want to exit the door after the next kill. Ignore Crazy Arm Strangler. First, we want to kill the remaining small hunter or ooze guy in the far aisle and then kill the strangler right away. Two bullet sponge, tall ooze guys will spawn by the door. Use a lure grenade to distract them while you change places with them. You want the option to run out the door if you need to de-aggro. You see, I throw a couple more lures to get them all deeper into the room, because otherwise they have the tendency to come around and block the exit again. This also helps ground them together for piercing and grenade damage. This guy was being stubborn and coming back toward me, so I got out of there. You see everyone calm again, but those guys are not far back enough in the room. Use as many lure grenades as you want in this room to adjust. Also, if you throw it too far from them, they won't go, so you kind of have to keep it relatively close and use a second one to move them again. This bullet sponge guy was weak enough to isolate, so I took him out. Then the weakest guy. Now one last guy. And you can see how these guys are bullet sponges and aggressive besides. Don't hesitate to use a lure or run out the door if he is far away from the door. Finally, get ammo from the corner locker and the weapon case from the back locker on the left. There is still a long way to go. You can get more ammo on the 6th floor before you go back down to the 3rd floor. There is ammo in the first locker and the right one in the corner. Plus a medal hiding behind the upright table. Next is a game show strangler. Crushes dreams of winning the grand prize. The end of the hall is tricky. Throw a lure or pulse when the ooze spawns, then quickly take out the strangler and turn to hit the hunter with the shotgun to knock him down. You want to be back at the original end of the hall so you don't get surrounded. Now you can pierce the enemies when they are in a group or use a hand grenade if they are bunched up. This is also a nice long hallway to rifle the ooze guys. You will notice each section on this level I try to operate from a key position, usually by a door or elevator that you can use to reload or de-aggro the enemies. Take your time, tall ooze guy. There's the strangler yelling like a horse, so run out the door. Now watch for a hunter hiding around the corner. You can see the strangler through the window there. In this room is some loot and a cheap medal. Soon you will be flanked by hunters. When you leave this meeting room, fire a shotgun to the left and right at invisible hunters. Then focus on the left hunter, maybe toss a grenade at the two on the right, and go back through the door when you are low on ammo. Do the same thing if he wasn't killed the first time. Once he is finished, you can focus on the other two. This guy doesn't want to jump. As we did in the accounting department, try to leave the room after each kill in case any new enemies spawn. Once the first 3 hunters are finished, you want to shoot one at a time, because there are several more around the back corner. The 4th hunter you will want to kill when you are away from the door, because the next one will spawn there, as you will see. I chose to take him out from behind the barricade and then shoot the new guy right away. No one else should spawn in that hall until you get the key now. Go back and lure the corner hunters out one at a time. I went ahead and burned some rifle bullets here because it was full and it will auto-load. You probably don't need to keep going out the door while we finish these last guys off before the key, but the habit doesn't hurt. How about those hitboxes? I just threw a grenade to get one out in the open. Go through the door as soon as you see one of them. This meeting room looks like one too many employees asked senior management for a raise. Once you have the key, be careful of the guy down the hall. De-aggro everyone through the door, no new hunters will spawn anymore, so you don't have to go through the door as long as there aren't multiple aggressive hunters at a time. Lure them out like before. Those hitboxes again. Go through the door when you see one of them to stop them in place. For some reason, they don't seem to see anything past this barricade. Surprise! Finally, you can get the loot back in the corner before you go through the chained door. Take the elevator to the last section. Take out a strangler man. Then pierce the hunters. Run forward to spawn the rock monster. If you can, try to rifle his weak spot from the top of the stairs. We want to operate on this level in front of the elevator, but you have to go through a madhouse of hunters and probably another strangler before you can get back there easily. Take a couple steps downstairs to spawn everyone and get ready. I used a pulse grenade to hopefully get an opening to run out of there, but the strangler spawned instead of a third hunter, and he can outrun you. So I stayed put and then got pinned between them while out of ammo. Thanks to Jessica's dodge bonus, I miraculously did 2 dodge moves to get through them because I was surrounded. A better strategy might have been throwing multiple grenades or more pulse grenades to knock everyone down, but if you are comfortable dodging, that obviously can work. Now we can reload in peace. Shoot them immediately when the elevator opens, because they will be waiting. And remember, the elevator ride is your friend. Now you can concentrate on one at a time. And you don't have to worry about anyone spawning behind you from this position. The rock monster is vulnerable to hand grenades, so hopefully you have the bottomless pouch 1 or 5. Here I am very careful, because hunters can sometimes hide behind pillars and corners, as we will see later. Somebody asked for a promotion in this hallway too. When you use the elevator to de-aggro, the only challenge is to find the passive enemies. But you have as much time as you want for a Trinity bonus, so don't worry. This particular hunter ended up being below the stairs. You can see why I was careful here, because these psychopaths came aggressive out of nowhere. But our position in the elevator is the equivalent of having high ground. If you stay alert, they won't surround you. When they spread their arms out like that, they are going for an instant kill, which hunters have been doing since the original Resident Evil. There's no need to risk hitting them airborne in this case, so hit them as soon as their arms go out to stop that animation. Proceeding here with caution. If you are a noob, this should encourage you that you don't have to be some professional gamer who has to breeze through the level with perfection. This logjam of hunters and rock monster seems to happen every time on this level. Just be careful if one slips through. You can cheese them otherwise. The big hunter was the one blocking the door, so here comes the rock monster. Hit his weak spots from long range if you can. After another elevator ride, walk carefully and try to find the hiding enemies. But stay near the elevator because you will want to take a ride as soon as you have the key to de-aggro a bunch of new enemies. But you will see here why it's important to be ready to shoot whenever the elevator opens, because the no damage run nearly ended here with a surprise hunter running a stakeout. Now here comes a purple crown rock monster, which signifies he is a bullet sponge. Meanwhile, notice the hunter in the distance behind the pillar. You will see he is too fat to turn the corner, so he can be cheesed. It just takes forever. With rock monster stuck, let's invite the hunter into our trap. You see the new guy spawn by the barricade, so you can see why it is important to keep your back by the elevator when dealing with these guys. Here comes another rock monster, so we are going to wait for him to join his body and grenade them as a pair. To play it safe, we wait in the elevator. Jessica can take time to reflect on her life decisions that got her to this point. Grenade these two rock guys while they are together. Somehow, the skinny guy slipped through, so equip your lightweight weapon and hightail it. Here we see a hunter has joined the action. Anyone else out there? Yes, there is, around the corner. Send him an invitation on a grenade. And take out his uninvited friends. Let's make sure everyone is de-aggroed. Whoever calibrated this elevator did a much better job than that slow one at the start of the level. Now we deal with Captain Bullet Sponge. Feel free to unload a few shock grenades at him if you have a lot left. When he raises his one arm, retreat immediately if you don't want to get knocked to the floor, or you can shoot the hand if you have a shot fast enough. One thing we can say about these rock monsters, they do not have the highest intelligence. How long has he been trying to run through this opening unsuccessfully while taking rifle shots over and over? Don't make an adjustment, whatever you do. You see here I keep running back after each shot because when he is killed there are still enemies that will spawn. Once again, try to find the hiding enemy. You can see I missed him in the second floor corner there. But now he is spotted. Here you see Jessica show off her terrible arm. Now we can get to our key position, because one last pair of crazy hunters will spawn after this guy. One of them is a bullet sponge. And finally, we get one more bullet sponge rock monster. He is the last enemy now, so you can unload every last bullet or grenade. You have to speed things up if you like. You can even do a bank shot off the pillar. This guy is another example that rock monsters do not adjust well to getting stuck in a narrow aisle. Here is some unnecessary caution, because that was the last enemy. You will see confirmation that everyone is gone when you see the yellow part case by the exit. Before you leave, you can save some money by collecting loot. And don't forget the medal behind the front desk. It's behind this pane of glass, so you have to shoot below the glass. In the last room, there is a nice medal down the left aisle too. And there you go, Abyss 19 Terragrigia Trinity bonus with more caution tape than a crime scene. Thank you for watching, always pursue the truth,